Yeah. All I need is one mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic.
Hey everyone, welcome back to One Mic, where I watch shit so you don't have to. And today I'm here for another Future State episode to give you guys an update on not just what's going on in the future, but kind of what's been going on present day as well. As you probably noticed, I generally put out 4 to 5 videos a week, and I haven't put out anything since last Wednesday, which was probably like the 18th, something like that. But, I went out of town this past weekend, so I wasn't able to watch Ted Lasso and get the video up. That's normally where I would have put up on Friday. And I'm actually going to be out of town the next 2 weekends as well. So those Ted Lasso videos are going to be late as well. But everything else is still going as planned. I have a slate of things that I'm kind of looking to cover, and I'm looking at this as something of a not a break, but almost like a mid-season hiatus kind of, right? And I'm not going to be gone for a couple of months, but this is not necessarily something that I plan to do because I'm enjoying doing this. I don't need a break per se, but again, I am going out of town, so that's going to present an issue to where I'm not going to be able to record videos during that time frame. So I just want to get in front of you guys, let you know that that's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, at least as it pertains to the Ted Lasso videos. But what I really want to do is give you guys an update on kind of like the direction again that I'm going to try to take the channel, which isn't too different from what I mentioned in the last Future State video, but there are a couple of things that I kind of wanted to update on. So the first being, I'm not going to be covering Titans anymore. No one's watching the videos. I don't find the show to be that good, and I don't feel like taking the time out to create these videos, edit them, post them, all this, promote them just for nobody to watch them, and the show's not that good anyway. So, I may keep watching the show. I probably will just to see what happens, but I'm not going to cover it anymore. Also, retro review. So for those of you who may have joined me like probably during the season of Dave, which is probably a lot of you guys, again, thank you. I appreciate you guys for subscribing and hanging around. I encourage you to check out any other videos, and also encourage you to tell other people to subscribe as well. But you probably haven't really made yourself familiar with the retro reviews thing. And real quickly, the premise behind that is just I watched stuff that I enjoyed a long time ago before I kind of had the knowledge of television and film that I do now. I've never mentioned this on the channel, but I went to college for film studies. I've been obsessed with television, with film since I was very small child, and television more so as of late, just due to the shift in quality of it and how television is performing at a very high level right now. But that's something I've always been obsessed with. So I have a pretty wealthy background of knowledge when it comes to, I take back knowledge, but experience when it comes to, viewing film and television and whatnot. But, I want to look at stuff that I watched, as a kid or as a teenager that I thought was dope, watch it now and see if it still holds up. So that's kind of the idea of retro reviews. So far, I've done, the first one was about the A-Team. I watched 5 episodes of that. I talked about that. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, 2004 Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet film, and 1992's Terminator 2. So those are the ones I've done so far. I don't have a solid release schedule for that. Like, I'm going to put them out every 2 weeks. I want these to kind of come from a place of true interest, right? So I kind of wait for something to speak to me. Like, okay, the next thing I want to do is blank because, I was thinking about this movie or this show, and it just kind of blossom into something where I'm like, okay, I want to do a retro reviews on this, as opposed to kind of like forcing it every couple of weeks. So it's been a while since I did the Terminator 2 one, I believe, and I've arrived at what I want to do next. So my next one is going to be on 1998's Alex Proyas film Dark City. I saw an article the other day that said I think they're making a TV show out of this property now, and it reminded me in the article that I saw that was posted on Facebook. Somebody mentioned that, they really loved that film. And I'm like, yeah, I did too. In 1998, I was in high school. I went to go see Dark City. I loved it. I wrote a paper on it in high school. And I don't believe I've watched it since. And, I'm curious right now, as much as I liked that film back then, how I'd feel about it now. And I'm also kind of curious, like, what kind of sci-fi were we getting quality-wise in 1998. So that's going to be the next one that I do. I've already got the movie downloaded. I don't know when I'm going to record, or put that video out, but this is the announcement that the next retro reviews is going to be on Dark City. Fight Talk. I've mentioned before, I'm not going to do Fight Talk anymore. I still stand by that, at least on a regular basis. I was doing it every weekend for UFC events and for anything else, Bellator stuff that I might have watched, boxing I might have watched, any kind of combat sports. But, if you sort my videos by views from lowest to highest, like the whole thing, the whole top, if you sort it from lowest to highest, is going to be Fight Talk videos. Nobody's watching these. And again, it's the same as Titans, I don't want to take the time to record these videos and get these thumbnails together and put these out for like 5 people to watch them. Like, people don't give a fuck about the MMA coverage. So that's something that I'll kind of do on a as I am motivated to do it basis. So, maybe, after the next pay-per-view, I might start doing them then. I cut them down to only doing pay-per-views, and then that still wasn't working. So I'm like, I'm not going to bother with this anymore. But the next pay-per-view has a pretty good card. So, if it plays out well, I might record a Fight Talk for that. Or if the channel kind of blows up again, feel free to share it with your Facebook friends and Twitter friends. But if the channel kind of blows up and people look at that and they're looking at old videos and like, oh, he used to talk about MMA stuff. If I feel like that's something that the streets want to hear, I'll get back to doing Fight Talk. But as of right now, it's going to be not even every pay-per-view. It's going to be like, if I feel like that particular pay-per-view is worth talking about. So that's the stance on Fight Talk. So Fight Talk, retro reviews, Titans, that's kind of the update so far on where we stand there. I'm still going to be covering Ted Lasso, obviously. I'm starting up with 9 Perfect Strangers on Hulu. I wasn't, kind of like, due to the trip that I had planned over this past weekend and the preparation for it, I wasn't able to watch 9 Perfect Strangers on Wednesday when it dropped. Plus, they dropped 3 episodes, which I didn't know that they were going to do. So I have not actually finished watching those 3 episodes yet. My wife and I started last night. We got through about 1.5. I am saying with fairly high certainty that we will get through the remaining half and the third one tonight. So I would expect me to get that up tomorrow. Tomorrow being Tuesday, August 24th. So expect that. And then also, I did just finish Ted Lasso, so I will get that video up probably tomorrow as well. So that's kind of immediate time frame, like the next couple of days. That's what we're looking at. 9 Perfect Strangers is going to be, I'm going to cover that week by week. As I think I said in the last Future State video that I'm going to kind of like move a little bit more toward week by week coverage, episode by episode of shows that I think are worthy of that. So 9 Perfect Strangers strikes me as one of those shows. I already have a lot of thoughts on what I've seen so far. So, that's going to give me a lot to talk about. And I think that's going to make the videos a little bit more interesting. Whereas, it's drawing comparisons to The White Lotus. And I kind of felt like The White Lotus didn't give me too much to talk about. I'm not going to go, start talking about The White Lotus now. But I already feel like, good or bad, 9 Perfect Strangers is going to give me a lot of interesting things to talk about. And it'll give you guys a lot of stuff to talk about in the comments with me. So, that's what's on deck currently. Down the line, so I kind of made a list of films and television shows that I either would like to cover or that I will absolutely be covering. So I'm going to run down that list for you guys so you can get an idea of what's coming. And hey, that sounds like something, any of that stuff sounds like something you're interested in. Make sure you get those notifications. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed already. And you can get that covered. So film-wise, I've already downloaded The Green Knight and Stillwater. I've heard good things about both. I don't know when I'll be watching them. I don't know if that... I can't even promise that that's something that's going to end up getting reviewed on the channel. Like, I just watched this Tom Hanks flick, Captain... what's it called? Greyhound? Or... I think it's called Greyhound. This boat movie or whatever that Tom Hanks did. I watched it, but I didn't cover it. So, I don't know for sure that I'm going to cover Stillwater or Green Knight, but, movies don't do as well on this channel either. So I'm going to kind of pick and choose what I'm going to cover there. But I downloaded those, and those will be ones that I may or may not cover. I know that's not really interesting. Me just saying like, yeah, I might do it, I might not. But that's where we stand on that one. Candyman comes out this week. I would like to watch and cover that, but I believe it's only in theaters, and like I said, I'm gonna be out of town. That actually makes it more likely that I'll be able to watch it, like actually go to a theater in the city that I'll be in and check it out. But I don't know if my wife and I are gonna want to use that 2 hours to go see a movie as opposed to doing something else. But that's something that if I check it out while I'm out of town, I'll definitely come back and review that one. But now kind of like into stuff that I know I'm going to be covering. Shang-Chi, September 3rd. Definitely going to be watching that. Definitely going to be reviewing it here on this channel. The Many Saints of Newark, which is coming out October 1st. It's kind of like a prequel to The Sopranos, which I have not seen. So I can't cover that unless I miraculously get through the entirety of The Sopranos over the course of the next 5 weeks or so, which I find that to be incredibly unlikely. I'm not opposed to trying, but incredibly unlikely. I know you guys are probably shocked that I haven't seen The Sopranos. It's very, very near the top of my list of things that I want to watch, but you know, if I get through The Sopranos, if I decide that's something I want to try to do and I can actually get through it in 5 weeks, I don't know, then I'll watch The Many Saints of Newark and I'll review it here. No Time to Die, new James Bond, starring James Craig, October 8th. Daniel Craig. Those of you who are watching, don't. if you know who James Craig is, you're gonna find that real funny. If you don't, then you're just chalk it up to me being a fucking idiot. Daniel Craig, October 8th. That's probably gonna be one I'm gonna be watching and reviewing. Dune on October 22nd. That's 100% something I'll be watching and reviewing. The Eternals, November 5th. That is something I'll definitely be watching and reviewing. Ghostbusters, I think it's called Ghostbusters Afterlife, November 11th. Probably gonna watch and review that. House of Gucci on 11/24. Probably gonna watch and review that as well. Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th. 1000% watching and reviewing that. Still waiting on the trailer. I was hoping it was gonna drop today. If you guys saw that fucking leak trailer, man, they gotta put the real shit out just to cover their asses. But that's definitely going to be what I'm going to be covering. Matrix 4, December 22nd, 100% watching and covering that as well. So that's kind of what we're looking on the movie front. I'd say, you know, we're probably looking at, I'd say best case, 5-6 of those movies I'll be covering over the course of the rest of this year. Plus things kind of come up, you know, that I'm not expecting. Like there's probably something that I wasn't thinking of when I made this list that is going to come out or that I'm going to learn about that I'm going to want to watch and cover. Like I didn't have Betrayal of Attica, something that I was going to cover, but it's something that just came up. So, but that's the idea right now. Television wise, like I mentioned, 9 Perfect Strangers. I'm going to be covering that week by week. Expect the first video, which is probably just going to cover the first 3 episodes as a whole. Expect that Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, and then week by week after that as they're released. Apple TV Season 2. That premieres this Friday. I have not yet finished Season 1, so I can't guarantee that I'm going to cover that. I'd like to. I like that they've added Dave Bautista to the cast. I think the show is decent, but I don't know. There's a huge question mark on that one. So no promises there. American Crime Story Impeachment, covering the Bill Clinton Monica Lewinsky scandal from the 90s. That's going to be premiering September 7th. I think there's probably a strong likelihood I'll be watching that. Why the Last Man, that's coming on FX. I'll be covering that probably for sure. That drops September 13th. Foundation, Apple TV, September 24th. 1000% will be covering that week by week. October, no dates yet, but Insecure Season 5. I don't know. That's one that I will definitely be watching, but I don't know if that's the kind of show that's going to lend itself to the kind of coverage that I do on this channel, but we'll see. I'd say there's a better than 50% chance that I'll cover that, but I'm not entirely sure. Just announced today by HBO, Succession Season 3 will be premiering in October, and I will 1000% be watching and covering that on this channel week by week as well. November 7th, Dexter. I'll be watching and covering that 100%. Hawkeye on Disney Plus, November 24th. I'll be covering that 100%. And then a maybe on The Witcher Season 2, which I believe is December 17th. I have not finished Season 1 yet, but obviously I have plenty of time to get that done. So it's been so long since I watched The Witcher because I kind of started it around the time it came out. And then I didn't finish it, and I haven't watched it since. So I might have to start The Witcher over from the beginning, but either way, I got like 4 months. So I'd say pretty strong likelihood that I'll finish The Witcher Season 1 and cover Season 2 here. And then last but most importantly, because I'm not even going to say last but not least, last but most important, Gomorrah Season 5. I'm hearing October or November for that. I don't really know how I'm going to be able to handle coverage, because the problem is that I have channels that I have the ability to watch Italian TV channels. I have the ability to download the show after it drops. The problem is going to be the availability of subtitles. So if I can't get subtitles, then, and I have to wait for it to hit HBO Max, that's going to be a huge problem. But I do suspect I'll probably be able to get subtitles on a download at least. So even if I can't watch it live, I feel like watching it live, there's no way I'm going to be able to get subtitles. But you know, at the very least, I should be able to download it maybe like the next day after it airs in Italy, and maybe be able to get subtitles. But right now, Gamora season 5 is top priority whenever it drops, or it will be top priority whenever it drops. So that's something I'll be covering. So that's it for now. That's kind of where we stand. So I guess hope you guys enjoyed this slight little break, but I'm not slowing down here. I'm covering a bunch of shit, and there's going to be more stuff that's coming out that I'm not thinking of, or that's going to surprise me. And I'm going to cover that too, because I'm always watching something. So we'll see what happens. But I just want to update you guys on what's been going on and what's coming down the pipe. So I will see you guys, I don't know, Nine Perfect Strangers tomorrow or Wednesday. Till then, peace.